Hey guys, welcome back. So I found some heads, which is good news. The bad news is where I found them. These are actually the heads off of the VY turbo build. So it's a bit disappointing that I had to pull them off, but my wife's car needs to run today and I'm out of time. So these are a CNC ported 241 cast head. They got mainly dual valve springs, retainers, the bronze, probably bronze silica I guess, trunnion upgrades in them, and a TR6 spark plug. So they're pretty stout heads. They'll flow well for what we've done to her engine, and yeah, we'll put the block in, bolt all that down, get all that sorted out, and then we'll put the heads on. Alright, camera's rolling. Pretty sure the bay is as prepped as it will get. I did give the bay a degrees in the gurney as well, so it's actually pretty clean now. Go off the motor and see if we can slide it on in. Bloody auto trans lines. Oh, I'm ringing. Alright. So actually it looks like I managed to get the engine mount brackets backwards, so I'm going to swap them over quickly and then try and put the engine back down in there. That's why it wouldn't line up. Sweet as. Alright, engine's back in, and it fought me every which way it possibly could. It just did not want to go in there. The engine mounts didn't want to line up, it didn't want to slot into the box on the two dowels. It just gave me a bloody hard time. But it's bolted in now, converter bolts are done up, the bell housing bolts are nipped up. So I'm going to go around, clear everything out the road. Once everything's out of the road, I'll plug in the minor stuff. So starter motor's in, power's run to it, but I've got to tighten up the power. Then there's crank angle sensors plugged in. That's always a big one. If you ever pull your LS out, put it back in and it won't start, everything seems normal, but it won't have spark, check that you plugged in the sensor that's behind the starter motor. It's pretty common to be missed when you pull the engine out, and you can actually rip the wiring out of the plug. Ask me how I know. So we'll go ahead, we'll put the knock sensor loom back in. I'll tidy up the head surface again, and then we'll have a look at putting the heads on. I've skipped ahead a little bit, just because of the time restrictions. This is literally the last day I have. One, with the shop, and two, that my wife can go without a car. So I skipped a couple of steps. Heads are on, bolted down. Heads are all together, so we've got the heavy duty 7.4 push rods. I think I told you before I had dual mainly valve springs in there. There's new seals in there, which is the main reason I pulled these heads off my car. Just didn't have the time needed to be able to get this car running. So fortunately I had to pinch the heads off my car. But it is what it is, man. If you guys out there in committed relationships or have wives of your own, you'll know what I mean. So yeah, these are all gone together. Headers are on. Ancillaries are all on. I'm actually waiting for my wife at the moment. She's bringing my intake manifold off of the old 5.7. So this one, I don't know, is it yuck? We painted it a while ago and now it's all crap again. So, but it just through the PCV having been pumping oil into here, it's just yuck. So we're going to grab my manifold, put it on there, use her rail and injectors, her map and other parts too. So yeah, sorry about skipping ahead. I do have, for anyone that's interested, this is the specs for bolting down heads on LS's. Now I think this is aftermarket head bolts only. This doesn't correspond with ARP studs. I'm pretty sure studs on, they like the ARP 2000s, are actually a different sequence, different measures. So yeah, I'll check back in a little bit. I've got to put the radiator in, put some oil in it, give it a really good look around, make sure there's nothing loose, nothing that needs to be nipped up, and then we'll check back for the first startup. Holy shit, what a stuff around. This is what you get, you know, sometimes when you're buying second-hand cars, you never really know what you're buying. But that there, come on bud, you can do it. That's where the map sensor is supposed to go. You can probably see a whole bunch of shit all over it. So I got the missus to bring down my manifold, which is a nice silver, it's a factory type one, but it's got brand new seals and it was cleaned out the last time I had my engine out, so it's basically almost new. So went to pull her map sensor out to swap it into this one. I'll see if I can find it. I think it might be on the bench over here. It looks like this. Look at this rubbish. Come on bud, you can do it. It's broken at some point, and instead of, you know, paying 50 bucks for a second hand one, or it might be up to 300 or something for a new one, it's fucking glued it. So next time I pulled it out, it's rooted. So I had to drive 40 minutes home, 40 minutes back to get my map sensor, because I've upgraded to a 3-bar, now I'm going to be running boost. Get this fucking thing and put it in, and then we're just about ready to start it up. I'll get a couple of exhaust clips if I can, and then I'll have a front camera to the engine for the first startup. Hopefully all goes well. Alright, fingers crossed, here's the first startup. Oh yeah, now if I can find the key. That's the one. Oh, okay. Alright, it's a little noisy on startup. Probably the lifters weren't soaked enough. So I'm going to check it out, see what's going on, make sure I got oil pressure, and then yeah, fingers crossed I might be able to drive this out tonight. Unbelievable. This car's been fighting me every step of the way to get this build done. I've had enough for tonight, I think. I just can't seem to get the lifters to quieten down. I pulled the intake manifold, pulled the valley cover, and I can see that the cam lobes are dry, so I'm not going to run it anymore. I'm just going to pull the motor, not bother with inspecting it myself. I'm just going to send it off to a local machine shop close by, have them do a tear down, see if there's anything broken now that I've run it, run it dry at least. If nothing's busted, have them tear it down and check that everything's in there properly as it should be, and yeah, come back to me with what the heck's going on with it. This is really frustrating, not only for myself having to go home knowing it's broken or it's not running, even though I've put all this time into it and money, I guess. It's super frustrating, but yeah, that's how it goes sometimes, I guess. So there might be there will be a break in between these videos now, so oh god, this is frustrating. That's cars, huh? Thanks for watching, guys. If you're new here, subscribe. If you have anything to say, call me dickhead, whatever you like, leave a comment below. And yeah, hope you guys had a good Easter. See ya.